Today's paper titled Performance Improvement for Large Language Models, RAG AI Agent for Tabular Data Processing in Auditing Procedures is going to be delving down into this problem. So what's the study's objective? Let's say in a very broader sense, this research actually explores how RAG enhances large language models for auditing tasks during audit planning. And we implemented and evaluated a RAG-enhanced system using a private knowledge base of 160 procedure documents from a US-based auditing firm. However, I do need to mention that I myself, as a leader for the hands-on exercise, do not have access to these 160 procedure documents. So what I did is that I create two synthetic, only two documents that I've placed in these knowledge base for the RAG, and I implemented a very small procedures for demo purposes. So what am I gonna do? Actually, I'm gonna go over the limitations of large language models in the context of this study, because we know there's a lot of limitations for large language models. However, I'm gonna be focusing more of what's relevant in this study, and I'm gonna talk more about in an audit context, how is it related? And I'm going to be actually doing a RAG enhanced LLM application using Dify, which is an open source application that you all can use. I will walk you through it, so don't worry. And finally, I'm going to briefly talk about how such workflow, which is a single agent workflow, could be transitioned into a multi-agent workflow, depending on the type of task you're implementing within these procedures. When we're talking about limitations of large language models in this context, this paper argues that there are three more very important limitations with respect to large language models from a data context. So relationship recognition, specifically, we're talking about difficulty understanding connections between rows, columns, and cross-referencing cells within the spreadsheets, calculation accuracy, so inconsistent performance in numerical computations, and third, multi-document integration, an ability to ineffectively synthesize information across multiple related tabular files. So I'm not going to go over the motivation of the paper, because one might argue, so if I'm using Dify, right? And one might argue, why don't you actually put all the documents and create a ChatGPT app? This falls within the motivation of the study. This is different, and I believe Fang Bing will actually cover this. So as I've read the paper, as I've read her paper, actually, she tackles well this question, because I had this question as well. So I'm going to leave this to Fang Bing actually to discuss this. From an auditing context, how does it actually related? Why are we concerned about these challenges? Because we fail to maintain the logical connections between data sources, specifically, for example, when uploading materiality planning worksheet that references procedural steps in guidance and alternative determining tables. And with respect, for example, when struggling with multi-source synthesis, so for example, particularly when sources contain conflicting information or require professional judgment to reconcile, there might be some limitations here. So what could be a big solution for this actually is uploading domain-specific or frame-specific documents, right? But this will also create another hurdle, another problem, which is documented to be document management inefficiency, right? I'm not going to go over the document management inefficiency, because also this falls within the motivation of the paper. I'm going to hand in to Fang Bing after I finish my demo exercise. But remember, there's some need for it, and we're going to go over it. So RAG, why are we talking about RAG, and what is RAG? So baseline RAG, we're here talking about baseline RAG, which is a simple framework that enhances a large language model's ability to answer questions by retrieving relevant information from an external document corpus. And what's usually the procedure? The text files are chunked into smaller segments. There might be overlaps between these chunks. I'm going to be talking about this as well. And once chunked, embeddings are generated, which is a numerical vector representation using pre-trained models, right? So in the study, there's a workflow that we need to go through to make sure that these large language models come up with satisfying output, okay? So the first is going to be prepare and convert the data. So we're going to transform these into TXT files and then develop the knowledge base database, chunks and embeddings, etc. And then we're going to move forward to the building the whole workflow, which is connecting these knowledge retrieval or the RAG to the large language models to come up with best output. So for the hands-on exercise, I'm going to be using Dify, which is an open source platform that help you deploy AI applications or large language models like OpenAI, ChatGPT, etc. And they have a lot of benefits, so you can actually go over the documentation. I've left a lot of sources for you to actually go over them. But I want you guys actually to create an account. So literally creating an account is going to be taking you like 1 minute. You only drop your email, they're going to be sending you a code. And once you put in your code, you're good to go. So once you create your account and join the app, you should see something like this, this interface. And once you are in this interface, then we're going to be moving to the next. So first we're going to be so you need to press create from blank. And since we're looking at a workflow and not a chat flow, so please press on workflow and give your app a name and some description for further documentation later on. For time purposes, I'm going to be typing in something that's very short, and that when you guys will do is actually press create. And if you're interested in looking at the difference between the workflow and the chat flow, I also left a tutorial on that gives you the differences between a single workflow, which is a singular pipeline, let's say, and the chat flow where it revolves more than one agent actually conversing together to come up with a certain output. So once you are here, so the first thing that we actually want to do is, so we have that start, which is our initiation phase of that workflow. We need to press knowledge retrieval to build up our RAG enhanced LLM. So after you do this, there's a couple of steps here that you need to follow. So the first thing is you need to go to knowledge and press create knowledge and then import from file. And then you need to upload your documents here. So in my case, I have only 2 documents. These are synthetic TXT files that I've created. So what I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to be dropping them one by one. And I'm going to be showing you why are we doing this one by one. So first, this is the first one. Sorry. So you press next. So as I've told you, once you want to build the knowledge retrieval, you want to determine the chunks of this data set because part of building that RAG is coming up with that chunks. So here you can actually play with the maximum chunk length and the chunk overlap. So maximum chunk length, we're very knowledgeable about this. With respect to chunk overlap is that there are some parts of the first chunk that's going to be seen in the second one, and then you get to determine the number of characters that overlap between these chunks. So for simplicity, I'm not going to be looking into these. I'm not going to be changing these maximum chunk length, etc. So what I can do is that I can save and process. So go to documents. So as you can see now, our first document towards our knowledge retrieval has been added. We need to add the second one. So for you to add the second file, we need to add file, and you need to do exactly the same thing. So you do next and save process, go to documents, and you're done. So with that, we are done with uploading our documents. For you to go back to the actual workflow, you can press on Studio and Audit. This is your application that you've created, and then we're here, right? So what we want to do next is here we want to press on this button, and you can use this one. Once you hit on this, you need to make sure that you create your query variable, which is going to be sys.users.id. Actually, I talked with funding before our presentation, and actually there's a lot of ways for you to do it. But in my case, I did it this way and it works. And then you need to actually pinpoint the knowledge data set that you want to do. So in this case, I named it as audit documents and client policy, and then I linked this knowledge retrieval to it. And now we are actually done for that step, and we can move forward to the large language model. So for the large language model, it's also very similar. So all you need to do is add node, and then go to for a large language model. And you want to link that knowledge retrieval to that large language model. And here we want to configure our large language model, right? So in my case, I'm using actually ChatGPT from OpenAI. So what you can do is that you can install OpenAI here. So once you install it, you can use ChatGPT 4.0, whatever, and you need to put in your API and your organization ID. So for the OpenAI, I can show you from where you can get it. I think you all know from where to get it just to make sure. So as you can see, once you actually press on the large language model, because I've configured it before, it doesn't work for me now. But once you open on the large language model, they're going to be asking for the API key and the organization ID and the API base. The API base is the API endpoint, basically. For you to obtain the API key, here's the link. And for you to obtain the organizational ID, if you're working with OpenAI, you can use that link as well. So next, you need to, within the system here, you need to add your prompt, right? So once you're adding your prompt, I actually used a very easy prompt, small prompt, but as we know, as we progress with using large language models, we are getting much more uh, uh, detailed in how we engineer our prompts, right? Because it has a lot to do with our actual output, right? So I've used a very small prompt. Probably I can drop this in the chat as well. And here within the context, just put look at this sys.files.array. And here now, after this, we hooked our knowledge retrieval to the large language model. And then at the end, we want the actual output, right? And for you guys to get the actual output, it's actually very easy. The only thing you need to do is add one additional node, which is end, right? And remember, for you to hook all these together, there's that line here where you hook it to it. And then you can name each and every node up at based on your discretion, right? For example, here, I'm gonna say output. Okay. So after that, I'm gonna show you the end result. So the end results look like this. So we have that start here, we have that knowledge retrieval, right? And we remember we hooked our knowledge to that knowledge base that we've created, which is here. Next is we have our large language model. In this case, we're using OpenAI, ChatGPT. So we configured by using the API key, organizational ID. And then within the system here, we provided with our prompt, right? So here, my question was actually one of the documents was some findings based on the revenue recognition, and then what's the revenue recognition policy in itself. And I wanted to see if there are any discrepancies between our findings and the actual policy in itself. Okay. So here, after you actually configure the whole workflow, all you need to do is press run. So as you can see here, it's running and it's going to give you more of a timing for each node and how much time it actually took. As you can see, the start and the knowledge retrieval, they're not going to take any time. But within the large language model, it's probably going to take like 5 to 10 seconds. So as you can see here, there's that reply here, which is our output. And what we're considering here, if you're looking at the actual output, let me use my PowerPoint presentation because it might be a bit easier. So as you can see here, they're giving us some information about how these two are linked together, right? And how is the findings from our audit procedures and our policy, uh, some reconciliation between them. And these are the results. For example, with the timing of recognition, the large language model actually pointed out that one of the key areas of concern is the revenue recognition policy is the timing of revenue recognition, right? And they actually explicitly talk about how they map these policies to the findings that we have. So as you can see, this workflow in itself is very easy. So it's a singular pipeline, right? So from the knowledge retrieval to the large language model, and we're getting the output, right? But it can get much more complicated than this, depending on the complexity of the task, right? Because remember, if your task is easy, you don't need a lot of agents, a lot of uh, uh, workflow configuration to come up with an answer, depending on your task itself. So how can it be a bit more, uh, let's say, complex? You can ask for more than one AI LLM-based agents. For example, here, for each class, for each question, it's going to be assigned to different large language models. And we're getting answers from these three different large language models, and auditors can take it from there. So this is basically the hands-on exercise that I had for you guys. I hope was helpful for you.